Welcome. Now, let's meditate together.
He says that there's a space that we can come to. You know, every time we think a thought or have an impulse or perceive something, it's based on information we already have, that's based on information that we have taken from the outside world. But he said there's a way to bypass that information, which may be faulty, and tap into our intrinsic, awakened nature. That which we are endeavoring to uncover as we study the Dhamma and as we practice and as we look for that pleasant abiding here and now. And he said it comes when we come to that absolute stilling of thought, and that it is possible for us to come to that absolute stilling of thought. And he gives us a technique for being able to do it. We don't have the best word for it, but some call it concentrating the mind until all thoughts completely subside. And when that happens, we find ourselves posited at a doorway, a portal. When you approach a doorway, you can't just stand in the doorway, but you pass through into a different space. And it's the same with this meditation. We move from an outer world full of voices to an inward world that is still and luminous. Everything we are searching for, we already possess. Everything we are looking for to make us happier, we already possess. Everything that we get in the world that we thought would make us happy, we see that it makes us happy for a while, maybe until the bill comes. You know, sometimes for a lifetime, someone makes us happy, and then they die. So we recognize that we are of a certain nature to grow old, to be sick, to die, that everything and everyone that we hold dear, we will ultimately be separated from. And so we stop looking for the world outside to make us happy. And we learn how to generate contentment from the inside. He said, like a gatekeeper, tracking the people that come in and go out of the city, has no regard for man when he is a long distance away. He has no regard for where he goes once he enters the city, but he only notices as he steps from outside the gate, inside the gate. Said, let your meditation be like this, that kind of focus. He said, like a sawyer saws a log, and although he saws back and forth, his eye never leaves the spot where the teeth of the blade meets the wood. He said, let your mindfulness of breathing be like that. So as we're breathing in and out, just very naturally, not trying to elongate the breath, not breathing fast, just natural rhythm. Pick one spot where you can feel the air as it moves from being external air to internal air, but just air. As it moves from outside the body to inside the body. And as that whole body of breath crosses that one spot, just turn your attention to the sensations of that air moving into the body and passing out of the body. And sometimes it will be a long breath, a deep breath. Sometimes it'll be a short one. But just feeling the sensation, the arising of the breath and the passing away. The filling and the emptying. And so is everything in this life. And training the mind to stay there with that one object, strengthening the mind through this kind of training. We use thought to come to know thought. So we note the different characteristics of the breath. Maybe a soft breath, maybe a coarse breath, a long breath, or a short breath. Be smooth. Be choppy. Notice as you begin to concentrate on this breathing in and out that actually all of your senses become heightened. Your sense of touch, your sense of sound. Particularly you are aware. Even your sense of sight, because behind the closed eyelids, even there we see something. Movement, colors. Externally, we have a heightened sense of contact, and internally, we have a sense of motion. And this is practice, this is a training, so we keep our energy up. We arouse zeal to stay alert and to stay with this process of just observing the in-breath and the out-breath, the whole body of the breath, the whole length, and how it affects us. Noticing the tranquilization of the body, feel a little more at ease. Maybe so much so that you are aware of a little stiffness somewhere, a little tightness that you weren't aware of before. But because you are more at ease, you recognize it now. And you might have to make a slight adjustment in your chair or on your seat. You just make that adjustment and keep breathing. In and out. In and out. In and out. And if we just stayed with the mindfulness of breathing, I'd take you in a certain direction. But I'm going to switch up now just from this place and take you into a meditation. And from there, I'll take you into a Tonglen meditation. So right now, while we're feeling sort of neutral, if you can bring to mind some incident, someone that did something that made you feel cherished. Some act of kindness, something that made you feel appreciated, that said you were not invisible, that you mattered. Someone who recognized your worth and your value. And some incident that brought you gladness. If you can just bring that to mind now, the body doesn't know whether it happened a long time ago or whether it's happening now. The feeling that comes with that story manifests and becomes present. And when you have that feeling that comes with it, if you just hold that feeling and turn your attention to it, it might be a warmth that's radiating out in the heart area. It might be a tingling throughout the body. I don't know what it is for you. But how you feel when you are appreciated. In that particular incident, just holding the feeling, forgetting about the storyline, just examining the feeling. Being with the feeling until you become full of appreciation, for oneself. And directing the mind to think a good thought towards oneself. Choosing for this time to set aside any thoughts that produce any other kind of feeling. I think, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Just hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Letting it fill your front and your back, above you, beneath you, in the four cardinal directions, expanding outward and outward. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. And recognizing how we can hold this feeling through training without any storyline. It can just be the feeling that we choose to hold. And it can color our every interaction. And filling the mind just with thoughts of loving kindness, peacefulness, and ease. And then if we bring to mind someone that we know is going through a hard time right now, maybe really suffering, and from this space, we breathe in and just imagining that we're breathing in all of their suffering and their sorrow, their hurt, or their despair. And we're washing it through the filter of our own aroused state of metta. So on the inhalation, we breathe in the sorrow and despair. It washes through our metta. And as we breathe out, we send that cleansed air, that sense of freedom, that confidence, that knowing that things change. And that is our way of connecting we breathe in again, breathing in their pain, their anger, their frustration, washing it through our peacefulness and clarity, and then exhaling and sending that energy into the world. And just as a flower has a fragrance that lingers, so does the mind have a fragrance that lingers. That can completely transform any atmosphere or situation you find yourself in, even without words. Actually, the forerunner of words. And as we're inhaling the pain and suffering of the world and exhaling our kindness and compassion, we think, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. And we turn our attention to the stories that we see on TV and that we hear on the radio and see on the internet. So many angry minds, minds of desperation, no peace. And we know that the only solution is to start with a steady, peaceful mind. And so we breathe in that confusion and we breathe out our peace. May they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. And now I'd like you to come back to your own heart. Thinking that I am equipped for every good work. Yeah. And when I get in that next situation that was explosive for me, I will be able to stop and breathe and find this space and speak out of its wisdom.